welcome or welcome back to my channel, Brenda Buzzes Over Books. And today I will be talking about 3 books, 2 graphic novels and 1 chapter book. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, one of these I did not really like. So find out which one that is. Enjoy the video. Okay, so I read Laura Olympus, Volume 8. And at this point, I think I just really like this series. Maybe love reading it? I don't know. I do have to say, I wish it was longer. And I'm very excited for the next volume. So maybe, yeah, I love reading it. Because I think it's kind of funny in the beginning, I was just not that into it. Maybe it just took me a while. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it. This is going to have spoilers. Yeah, because I mean, I feel like if you have no idea what Laura Olympus is, you haven't heard about it before, all you really need to know, I mean, it's like the Greek gods. It's a retelling of Hades and Persephone. Persephone is the one we mainly follow. I feel like, yeah. And she's a new goddess. I think she's like 18 or 19. And Hades has been around since like the beginning. So there's a big age difference, and that part is weird. Yeah, it's still weird. Like, I will forget about it here and there. But other than that, I mean, their interactions are very cute. Yeah, and also, okay, here we come into spoilers now. They're not big spoilers, just so you know. I don't think they are. But something I loved about this volume, I thought it was so cute, Persephone getting her earrings. I know this is something so simple, but yeah, she looks so cute with them. And also, Kronos, I think that's how you say it. Very scary. Yeah, he was pretty scary. And I loved when Persephone confronted him. That's a spoiler. Yeah, there's a whole little fight scene. I wish it were longer. It was so short. I felt like it was really short. It was pretty satisfying, but I wanted it to be longer. And yeah, Persephone looked like a total badass. I loved it. I loved her little transformation. I will show you images. Yeah, when I'm finished talking about this, I'm gonna show you some of my favorite illustrations from this volume. And yeah, let me just check my little notes. Give me a little refresher. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I said I loved reading this volume and I love reading this series at this point. I just think it's really cool to check in on these characters. I enjoy it a lot. And something I'm looking forward to seeing is Persephone confronting Apollo, or, you know, her healing from that. She's still very much in the healing process of it. She's trying to deal with it, you know, process what happened to her. And something I really liked in this volume, I mean, Hades finds out what Apollo did, and he's furious, right? Who wouldn't be? And she stops him. She's like, don't hurt him. I want to deal with this on my own time. I want to confront him in my own way. I don't even know what way that will be yet. And he respected that, and I love that. That's great. And that was a sweet moment. And that's also one of the illustrations. Well, not that exact moment, but when she starts opening up to him. Yeah, and I think we're ready to get into the illustrations. Let's do it. Alright, so here we have the moment that Persephone is opening up to Hades. They are in the mortal realm. This is where she wanted to go. And he tells her, you can tell me as much or as little as you want. Which I loved him giving her her space and letting her take the lead. And I thought this was like a lovely place to do it. Yeah, very much gives, you know, late night talks. And it looks like she's in a place where nothing bad could happen, you know, no harm, nobody's gonna interrupt them, which is ideal. Yeah. This is another illustration I really liked. This is when Persephone is sent to the mortal realm. I won't say why. I won't give you too much spoilers, and this is Hades being very distraught. Yeah, I think he told her he loves her for the first time here. Yep. This is a very beautiful image. This This is another image I really liked. This is Hades' dog. And I just feel like it looks like he's wearing armor here. And also I like how the background is very soft. It's a bit blurry and it makes the dog the big presence, the focus. Yeah, and he is injured. That is blood, you guys. Read to find out. We have two images left. This is one of them. This is Hades, little baby Hades. And I just really like the way this picture looks. I mean, I feel like Hades has a lot of things he hasn't dealt with from his childhood, so like childhood trauma. And I feel like this is how he feels a good amount of times. Lonely, vulnerable, defenseless. Yeah, I also really like the colors. I like the colors and it really evokes a feeling. Alright, lastly, Persephone's transformation. And she is facing Kronos. Look at that. And then we turn the page. There she is. She is beauty. She is grace. There she is. Look at her. The queen of the underworld. So I would say check out Lore Olympus if you're looking for an easy read, an enjoyable read, a graphic novel series. Check it out. Give it a try. You might end up loving it like me. Yeah, I would say if by the third volume, I mean, you don't have to go that far if you don't want to. But if by the third volume you're not into it, yeah, maybe it's not your series. I think that's when I got into it. Ugh, it's been a while. Can't remember. But yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I look forward to it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah. I am curious to see what graphic novel series will be the next one I get into. I'm excited to see. Or even just a graphic novel. I love them. They're so fun. And beautiful to look at. Hello, so different setting. I'm doing a little handheld one this time because I do not have my light anymore. I need to get a new charger. Anyway, I will be talking about this graphic novel called Dream On by Shannon Hale. I enjoyed this one. I really love the art style, especially the colors that are used in the daydreaming sequences. And this is intended for younger audiences, I would say elementary school, but I still enjoyed it. And I think the part of me that really enjoyed it was like my younger self, you know, my inner child. Yeah. And I think, I mean, I was not super invested in like the storyline. I wasn't dying to know what was going to happen next. And I will tell you what this book is about. I know I haven't said it yet. But it was still enjoyable. It was like nice to just sit down, relax, you know, read something that nothing absolutely terrible is going to happen. And, you know, just distract my mind a little and look at some pretty artwork. So I enjoyed that. And I did relate to the character, the main character, Cassie. This is our main character. So something about Cassie is that she daydreams a lot, as I already mentioned, the daydreaming sequences. Also, she's told that she is very sensitive, a little bit too much, so she struggles with that. She's also, you know, just trying to fit in, as we all are, or like a lot of children are. We all go through that at some point in our life, and that's what she's going through. You know, she feels like she's maybe a little bit too weird, especially because one of her friends is starting to make new friends, and some kids are a bit more different than her, and she's like, oh no, like, am I the problem, and stuff like that. But the main storyline would be her believing that she is the big winner of a sweepstakes, and she thinks that's going to change her life, and she daydreams about that a lot. And then she's also freaking out that, you know, it was a scam and her parents are going to have to pay and stuff like that. But that's the main thing that it follows, but we also get to find out more about her and other characters. And there is supposed to be a second book, and I think I will check that out when it comes out. It's supposed to be out in well, next year, 2026. I don't remember what month. But I am going to show you some of the artwork that I really like. So let me show you that right now. So here's one part where she's daydreaming. She's, you know, daydreaming what all these great prizes will bring, you know, make her whole family happy and bring back her best friend and stuff like that. And here she is daydreaming in class. I know I did that a lot when I was a kid. This is what it looks like when she's not daydreaming. This is the format, in case you were curious. This is my favorite illustration, I think, from the whole book. This is her and her friend enjoying ice cream. And something I forgot to mention was the ways that I felt like I connected with Cassie. I don't think I mentioned that. Well, yeah, sometimes I did feel like I was a bit of a weird kid. Kind of like looking back now, maybe I was. I mean, I definitely did not fit in like the popular or like pretty or a little bit more mature type kid in elementary school that you could find. Definitely more silly. And at one point, one of my friends did end up, you know, hanging out with those kinds of kids more than me, so that was a little difficult to deal with, and in that way I did relate to Cassie. Also, I mean, as I mentioned, I did daydream a lot, and yeah, also, you know, just dreaming of like things getting better and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think that might be it. Let me see my notes. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, I would recommend this. If you have any, I mean, if that's not interesting to you and you want to read it, obviously, you know, you should pick it up. But I would also recommend it if you have any young girls in your life that you want to gift a book to. You know, maybe you have a daughter or a niece or something. Yeah, I think they would enjoy this. I forgot to say the rating, even though I do post those in the beginning. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. And I mean, a big reason is because, I mean, it's not really intended for me. So, I mean, not the book's fault. But that's just my personal rating, you know, my rating as in how I experienced the book, how much I liked it. Yeah, so it's 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. I read Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. Sorry if I butchered that. I was extremely excited for this book. It's about a zombie apocalypse through the eyes of a crow and the animals around. And I was stoked about that because I love animals, and I was like, ooh, point of view that's not from a person. Should be interesting. Honestly, it was a bit boring for me. But some people do like this book, so this might be a book for you. Don't let me discourage you from reading this, but I'm just going to tell you my experience reading it. Because when I did get this from Barnes & Noble, the cashier complimented me on my pick. They're like, oh my gosh, such a good book. I absolutely loved it. And they said it was really funny. They're like, oh, you'll probably like it if you like crude humor. Maybe I don't. Maybe that's what I learned. There is a second book. I don't think I'm going to read it. I would be down for somebody to tell me what happens. So, yeah. Actually, I got this book for my boyfriend because we went to Barnes & Noble and bought each other a book. And the idea was to read it and then switch. So he bought, oh my gosh, how can I forget the name of it? The Never-Ending Story Seriously, I'm embarrassed I forgot the name of it. Such a good book. Anyway, he bought that one for me, and I bought this one for him. And I don't know where I was going with that, but that's why I came across this. Oh yeah, something important about that, though, is that if that weren't the case, I don't think I would have finished reading this book. Yeah. I also remember the other thing I was going to say about that. Sometimes I just lose my train of thought. He will read the second book. Because he has this thing where if he starts a book that's a series, he feels like he needs to read all of them. That's not my case. I don't. So whenever he reads the second one, I'll let him tell me if it's any better or not. This book does end on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Not big enough for me to read the second one. But it's a little bit. It's like, oh, where's that gonna go? It's like something new. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. There were parts of this book that I did like, though, and there are some quotes I even wrote down in my little journal. There wasn't too many moments, though, that kept me there. By chapter 29, I resorted to an audiobook because I wanted to just put the book down. This book took me forever to read. I was just not into it. It wasn't for me. But like I said, there was good moments. I think something that was missing for me was for me to feel connected to a character. You know, maybe see a little bit of me in them or be rooting for them. I didn't really see that. I did have a favorite character if I had to choose, which was Dennis, the dog. So yeah, my main character is a crow. His name is Shit Turd, ST for short. And his owner also had Dennis, the dog. And yeah, so they live together, and when the whole zombie apocalypse happens, they're, you know, trying to survive together. And first, Shit Turd is talking smack about Dennis, like, viewing him as a little dumb dog. But every time they're separated and they reunite, he's so happy to see him. And that was, like, one of my favorite parts of the book. Every time little Dennis was, like, running up to him, his little ears flopping. I just pictured it, and I thought it was adorable. Spoiler alert. I'll put a little timestamp if you want to skip ahead. Okay, you had your chance. They killed my favorite character, Dennis, which I thought was lame, because they gave him a lame death. So I was a little bummed out about that. I really was. At least it happens towards the end of the book. Not at the very end, but towards the end. So, I didn't have to sit with that disappointment for too long. Yeah. Do I have any other spoilers I want to talk about? I don't know. Okay, well, we're back. We're back for anybody that skipped it. Let's see. Should I just read the quotes? I don't know why I feel like I sound so upset. Yeah, I'm sorry about that if I sound so upset. Anyway, let's read these quotes. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that cough. Okay, page 10. Something you might be unaware of in the natural world. There is an internet. In English, it would roughly translate to aura. Because it is all around us. Information streams daily via the winged ones, the judicious rustle of the trees, and the staccato percussion of insects. And yeah, the reason why I like this little blurb, this little quote that I wrote down, is because when I was reading it, outside the window, I could hear the birds chirping. And I mean, I always just was like, oh, they're singing, you know, they're happy. But I was like, oh, yeah, what if they are just spreading news to all the other birds? So I was like, oh, I wonder what they're saying. And it was just like a nice little moment. Yeah. It's like the real world and the book were connected in that moment. In real time for me. So it was nice. Another quote I have. Okay, so I'm going to read this quote again because I was interrupted. Page 35. Hollows are what most fauna have long called mofos, named for their dissociative state In the natural world, mofos are mistaken for milky-eyed machines, intent on destruction, empty vessels that have lost their inner intelligence, the walking blind, dumb animals. And the reason why this stood out to me was, just like reflecting how much, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, are sometimes disconnected with nature and what's happening around us. We're very much indoors most of the time, or glued to a screen. A lot of us are. So yeah. And also, people being like, oh, people are so smart. We've evolved so much. Look at everything we've built and this and that. But I think it's important to also reconnect with the natural world. And yeah, maybe we have lost our way a little bit. Also, the zombies in this book were weird. Nothing like I had seen before. And I was very confused at first in the book. And then it was explained to me. And I was like, well, that's kind of dumb. I didn't love the reason how people became zombies. Then there was a moment I was like, wait, maybe you're onto something. And then I was like, no, I still think I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah. I don't think I'll tell you. I don't think I'll tell you what that is. I'll let you find out if you decide to read it. Or look up spoilers. But I will give you a little spoiler. A little one. One part that I thought was very disturbing. One of the zombies. It was the neighbor of ST. Shit turd. And the neighbor was eating their dog. Yeah, that was not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. The way it was described was nasty. Nasty. And the zombie turns around. I think the bone popped out from their neck because they did like a 360-degree turn. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. Another quote I have here. So page 95. I wanted to ask him about echo. About what it's like to hear the songs of the sea. How it feels to fly great distances. What does it taste like when you are so free you can follow the sun until it dips down into the ocean? But it was best to keep these wonderings to myself. Best to keep up barbed wire boundaries and focus on looking after numero uno. So I really like this because I was like on the edge of my seat like, oh my gosh, yes, please ask him. I want to know the answers. First of all, I love birds, which is also another reason why I was excited about this book. Okay. Yeah, every time I see a bird, I'm just in awe. And I think they're so beautiful. They look magical. They're also like making me think of dinosaurs, Yeah, I love them. I love to look at them. Anyway, so I was like, yes, please give me a little insight. Also, who wouldn't like to fly, right? I'm sure there are some people that wouldn't, but I would. I think that would be so cool to feel the wind in your wings, right? And if you're a person, in your arms. So yeah. And then I was like bummed out when he was like, nah, but like that would be embarrassing, I can't say those things out loud. And I really liked that because I was like, oh my gosh, how many interesting conversations have not been had because of this mindset, which I know I have been guilty of. I have kept my mouth shut before because I'm like, oh no, what if like I make a fool out of myself? And that's something I continue to work on, to just speak my mind. I shouldn't be afraid of things like that. Yeah. If you hear that coughing, that is my nephew coughing right now. So yeah, I really like that quote. I think that's actually my favorite quote from the whole book. I think so. I'm gonna look at my notes right now and see if there's anything else I want to mention about this. Part that I felt more invested when I was reading this book, because in the beginning, I was very interested. I was like, ooh, where is this gonna go? Later, I lost my interest. I was a little bored, this and that. And I think a big reason of it, I said, I did not really connect to the characters, but also because a lot of the book, Shit Turd is just complaining and looking down at the other birds. And it got annoying real quick for me. And it wasn't until he accepted his crow self that I was like, okay, yes, I'm happy to be here. Finally. And I was interested. They had me for a little bit. And then they lost me again. But yeah. I like that little turn that it did. A little character growth. Gotta love character growth. Let me see. Okay, no. I think that's actually it. I looked at my notes and I think that's it. I don't know. I mean, again, you might like it. If in the beginning when I told you what this book was about and you were interested, willing to read it, I think you should do it. I think you should do it because this might be the book for you. But be ready, because it might not. And that's how it is every time you pick up a book. Anyway. So my rating is 2.5 stars out of 5 stars. Yeah. Alright. Thank you for listening. Also, I think this is like the last book for this video. So, thank you so much, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Appreciate you. And be on the lookout because I will release another video of these. And I think pretty soon. I think so. I started reading this new book. It's called... What is it called? I just started, okay? That's why I don't remember the name. And also because I guess I'm forgetful. You saw me forgetting Never Ending Story. Can't believe it. Old Enough. Yeah, that's what it's called. Old Enough. And I've read 2 chapters. And I'm interested. I'm interested. It is still early in the book. But if it keeps going like this, I think I'm going to finish it soon. Also, I checked it out from the library, so there is a time limit. So there will be a video out soon. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, a great morning, a great night whenever you're watching this. Yeah. Take care of yourself. See you soon. Bye.